As you can see on the thumbnail, we're going to talk about Kyrie. He pretty much went viral over his comments about LeBron. I don't even know that he meant to get into that. He's, this huge gamer. He's streaming on Twitch now, and he's constantly chatting and engaging with NBA fans and folks who are also gaming and streaming along with him. So he was streaming, and I guess as he's playing his game, he's responding to some of the Twitch comments. And one of the comments basically asked, well, it wasn't an ask, it was a comment. And it was just a statement saying, like, if you didn't like playing with LeBron, then you wouldn't like playing with Kobe Bryant either. And something tells me that that doesn't sit very right with Kyrie's ass. And he instantly responded and kind of goes on this mini rant. And I don't know if he knew what he was getting himself into, similar to his flat earth comments. The LaBarbie fans went off, guys. They were attacking him. This went viral, and we're going to talk about it tonight. It's kind of like two parts that we're going to get into, just because I think that there's some important things that he said that I want to address and sort of, give my take on. But I'm just going to play the video for you guys, and we're going to react together. And yeah, let me know what you think. I know that a lot of you guys have seen it. As you guys load into the chat and into the stream, do me a favor, like the video, share it with your friends, your family. Let everybody know that you love Sports Tea and you want to grow the network even bigger. And then also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. But let's jump right into this video. It's Kyrie Irving. He's going off on his Twitch account or whatever this is. And, I don't think he has his feather in his ear in this, but Kyrie, I think he's a very good human, and I hope that he's not one of those folks who like goes crazy temporarily from just everything that he sees and might not be able to handle. So I hope that his spirituality can carry him through some of the things that I know is hurting his heart. But let's start this video and we'll react together.
Somebody said if you don't like playing with LeBron, you wouldn't like playing with Kobe. Bro, you guys got to stop these narratives, man. It's not that I didn't like playing with Bron, you guys. And, I don't want to go into detail about it. Some of y'all comments just be so asinine. Bro, like when I was in Cleveland and I was a young player, I had no idea Bron was going to come back. Yeah, I had no idea that Cleveland was going to welcome him back after the shit I witnessed when I was 18 years old and I had to watch him leave Cleveland. I don't think you guys realize the depths of that. And during that time when I was in Cleveland, I had no say-so in what was going on. I was just a young player. I signed my max deal with Cleveland. I had no idea, man. I found out that Bron was coming back like the rest of you guys. Rest of you guys in the world. I had no inclination. I had no time to prepare. It's not that it was on my bingo card like, hey, I'm going to spend my career playing with Bron. Like I had no idea, guys. And just for somebody giving that comment, I appreciate you allowing me to go detailing it, because the reason why I say I would have loved to play with Kobe, because I would have loved to have started my career with, I love Cleveland, don't get me wrong. I'm appreciative of all the things that they've done for me. But at the same time, I would have loved to choose the franchise I wanted to go to. You know what I'm saying? I would have loved to develop next to some of my favorite players and some of my favorite people. Because being a young player, when you're on a team that's not winning a lot of games, there's a lot of bad habits that form. And that's what ended up happening to me when I was very young. I had a lot of bad habits. I was not a winner. I was not a good loser, at all. Like, I take my accountability. I had a lot of bad habits as a young player. And that came from losing games and just trying to get buckets all the time. Right. I know it may have been beautiful for everybody to watch and getting all the highlights and getting all the accolades, but all I really wanted to do was win. I've won a high school championship. You know what I mean? My goal was to win a college championship, and I've won an NBA championship. For me, I've grown up in this industry or grown up in this culture as a winner. I've won a lot of games. I've lost a lot of games. You know what I mean? I've been to the finals. I've won in the finals. I've lost in the finals multiple times. So for me, I'm happy with being able to get a chance to play with good teams. But when you guys make it about one player, it is kind of just weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just one player that you have to promote. Like, we had like solid players on our team, and I probably took that for granted more often. Like, when we were really good, I was like, damn, we're actually pretty good. We got a lot of veterans. We got a lot of people that commit to it. But when you're playing with somebody like Bron or somebody that you guys like to compare him to, it's a different animal. It's a different journey. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're automatically expected to be at the top of the charts, the top of the league. Every time you play with Bron, it's going to be a lot of media attention. It's going to be a lot of back and forth, the narratives. It's going to be about a lot of spun narratives. It's going to be a lot of politics. It's going to be a lot of shit that a lot of people don't see in front of the camera. And for me, I was just a young person trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? It's not that I dislike playing with Bron at any time. It was just literally, it was my time to move on. And that's what people got to accept. They want a deeper, detailed dive in terms of what happened. It's like, it was my time to move on. I don't care if I remember it as that person. Like, that was my decision. I wouldn't change for it.
Garnett actually knocked
it down. I don't care. You guys can have your own opinion. It's my life. It's my career. No one could ever live in the shoes. No one could ever have anything that's like legitimate to say or what they would have done in my position. Because you have no idea what you would have done. Good shot, coach. You have no idea what you would have done if you were in my position. You don't know what the fuck happened. So many media people that were commenting on shit, so you have no idea what's happening. And here you are just adding details to something that has nothing to do with it. So everybody was trying to guess, everybody was trying to figure out what's going on. What's going on? Why? When I'm done playing, you guys will hear the real story. Trust me, you guys will hear the real story. When I'm done playing, for the next few years.
Kyrie Irving, it turns out he did have, it looked like a feather earring and a blue tassel. I actually really like it. I think it's super cute. But anyhow, Kyrie said a lot, right? So he started off, and the first thing that came to my mind, and I'm just going to fast forward to the end, is why even wait? You started telling us, just get it all out. Why wait? Just tell us what's on your heart and on your mind, Kyrie. I think that, he has a lot to share. I think that anybody who's played with LeBron James has a lot to share, but he's basically confirmed what myself, Man Down Sports, Ticket TV, all the truth tellers on YouTube have been saying, which is that there's a lot of politics, a lot of made up spun narratives when you play alongside of LeBron James. And it is, unfortunately, it's a toxic environment for any player to play under. And I'll just take you back to the beginning of his comments when he just openly admitted straight out of the gate, like, I didn't even really want to play with LeBron. That was never on my bingo card. That wasn't something I was thinking about. That wasn't something that I wanted. I did not know he was coming back to Cleveland. And quite frankly, I never thought he would, because they burned his jersey and he left in such a dramatic fashion to go and chase rings. Why would I think he'd want to come back? So I get that point. And I remember back at that time in 2010, I mean, he was being blasted all over the place for leaving his team. A superstar of that caliber just didn't do that. And you did it because you were too weak to continue to try to find a different way to win, to stick with your team, your hometown. Like, how do you leave your hometown team? Like, that's got to be some type of like all-time shamefulness. You get drafted to the team where you grew up, hopefully rooting for. I bet that LeBron James probably wasn't even a Cavaliers fan. He was probably a Bulls fan. He was probably a Lakers fan, because isn't he a Cowboys fan? Like, he doesn't have, like, you can tell that he didn't grow up with a dad. He just liked whatever. He had no like solid male influence in his life to even teach him how to be a fan of sports. So it was just kind of like, I'm just going to like whatever. So that's probably why he left. I can't imagine him having any real connection to the Cavaliers and leaving that team. But anyhow, he leaves that team, super dramatic, right? Kyrie talks about that like, hey, I really never thought he was coming back. I never wanted to play with this man. I thought I was going to be the first option. That's pretty much what I hear out of Kyrie. So I'm hearing like, and sometimes hindsight is 2020, right? When we look back on something, we realize all these things. We think about things that we could have done better. And that's typically where we take accountability, right? So back then he was talking about the earth is flat and all these different kinds of things. And he discusses his bad habits. He discusses that I'm guessing he had bad habits on the court because they were losing a lot. So he was just cooking, doing whatever he wanted, scoring his points, playing his game, probably out for self. I can see those kinds of bad habits when you're playing on a losing team. I get that. I think where I got annoyed with Kyrie, I'm going to be really honest with you, where I got annoyed and, because there's a lot of positive that he said. And for me, he pretty much nailed it throughout most of the video. But then towards the end, he literally starts whining. And it's just like, no, you're whining that no one knows what they would do in your position because we don't know anything, blah, blah, blah. It's like that friend that says that they have so much to say, but they can't say it. Or they're just so upset all day and you're coming up to them, asking them what's going on all day. And it's like, just shut up already if you don't want to tell me. And that's how I kind of feel two ways about it, is because, you want to say something, but then you don't. But then on the other hand, I'm really grateful to Kyrie Irving for giving us signs that not everything is on the up and up with Clutch or the NBA. And he just can't speak on it right now because he's in the league and he knows what it is to speak out against the NBA or anybody in a powerful position and then turn around and you can't get a contract. Or, you're being blasted all over the media and your job is potentially at risk. So I just think that the power of the media and the NBA is so strong that who knows what they'll try to do even after Kyrie retires to hurt his post-retirement career for exposing LeBron, Clutch, and the NBA. But it makes me wonder, okay, well, why does Kyrie have to wait so long to reveal the truth about LeBron? That's why. There's going to be consequences. There's going to be consequences for him speaking out, telling the truth, right? We know that. Anytime somebody says something about LeBron, there becomes a media smear campaign. Happens all the time, like clockwork, with almost perfect consistency. And if you guys notice, the very first thing that happened was Kyrie is getting upset because somebody said that if he couldn't play with LeBron, then he wouldn't have been able to play with Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant is, for Kyrie Irving, he is the best player that he's seen, probably. He was his favorite player growing up. He had a lot of respect for Kobe and the Mamba. Outside of the guys that he looked up to in his family, Rod Strickland, his own father, Kobe Bryant was somebody that he wanted to play with. And I just think he gets so, in my opinion, I think that Kobe Bryant is a trigger for Kyrie Irving. When he goes on these rants, when he starts, really saying something these days, it's because he's tired of the Kobe Bryant slander. And I think that this is a hill that he's willing to die on. He's willing to stand 10 toes down for Kobe. He's no longer here to defend himself. And I think he believes somebody has to. And so anytime he hears Kobe, it's like his brain is wired a certain way. It's like his eyes see a little bit of red and he just goes off. He can't stand the Kobe narratives, the lies. And who knows? I don't know if Kobe Bryant and Kyrie Irving would have been a good fit of playing together. I have no idea. I can't call it. Who knows what that would have turned out to be? Modern NBA players, they don't have the work ethic that Kobe Bryant had. So I don't know what would have happened. Kyrie Irving maybe he would have been better. Maybe he would have had more game participation if he actually was drafted to the Lakers playing under Kobe Bryant. He said he would have loved that. He said that he would have loved to play under some of the guys that he loved the most. AKA, I didn't love LeBron and didn't want to play with him. And he's trying to be careful in his words, but I believe that it's Kobe Bryant that triggers Kyrie to have these rants. But is it going to be enough for him to expose LeBron James? That's the question. Is Kobe Bryant a trigger for Kyrie to expose LeBron James? That's the question that I have. I want to know what you guys think about it. So let me read some comments real quick. LaSoft James, for sure. Definitely soft. Bron fanboys, grab your tissue. Salute to Tyler Rose TV. Guys, if you haven't done so, head over to his channel and subscribe. He's got some pretty dope content over there. Really super cool dude. So go over there, watch, like, and subscribe. But back to whether or not Kobe Bryant is a trigger for Kyrie Irving. That's what I see, because every time he's saying something, it's surrounding Kobe Bryant. As of late, those have been the viral comments that he's been making. I know he also talked about being teammates with Kevin Durant. He mentioned that Kevin Durant was one of his favorite teammates to play with ever. So let's see. William Purdy, thank you for your comment. Kyrie should be pissed But there was a time you wanted to rejoin this bum because you wanted more rings too. And yes, I wish he spoke up earlier. I wanted him to be furious about being pushed out of Cleveland. So I think that he wanted to rejoin LeBron not because he wanted more rings, because he was about to not be able to get a job in the NBA. The tweet that he made with that documentary with the, anti-Semitic tropes in it. He didn't say anything anti-Semitic. He tweeted a documentary that had pieces of anti-Semitic tropes in it. And this spiraled throughout the NBA. And the Nets ownership turned their back on him. Adam Silver was ready to completely just exile him from the league. And he was almost fired with no ability to return. So I don't think it was about rings. I think that LeBron James was his lifeline to securing another contract, to continuing his career in the NBA. And I think that he had to play nice with LeBron. I think he had to make up with LeBron. I think he had to go crawling back on his knees. And that's not a very good place to be. It's just not. Anybody that has to kiss ass or, get down on hand and knee for any man, that's not a good feeling. Okay. So Kyrie Irving, he's finally off his knees. He's in Dallas. Okay. He's in Dallas doing his thing, balling, being a leader on that team. But the point of that video is that he really was the first option in Cleveland. That's what he was drafted there to do. He was the leader on that team. And no, they weren't successful, but here comes LeBron James bursting his bubble, taking his shine as the number one, and he's all of a sudden got to shift to be a number two to LeBron James. I don't think he wanted to do that at any point. To turn around, hit the game-winning shot in the NBA Finals, and you don't even get credit. It's all about LeBron. That is pretty whack. It's awful. So I hear you. He did want to rejoin him, but not for that reason.